We're all trying to get the highest APR possible on our assets, whether it's Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other tokens. In this video, we'll be talking about Solana and how you can try to get the highest possible APR on your cryptocurrency. So right now, Solana is at $141. In the past month, it has gone up just a bit from 134 to 140. And to try to get high APRs, such as 70% or even higher, we're going to be using platforms like Orca or Raydium. Now, right here on DeFi Llama, we can see information about both these platforms. So Raydium has a TVL of over $1 billion. As you can see, it was really strong in 2021, then it went down a bunch, and now it's getting back a bit stronger, it seems, which is great. And then for Orca, it has a TVL of 277 million, and here in November of 2021, it hit a very all-time high of over $1 billion, and then it went down a bunch in 2022, was really low, still in 2023, but now it's picking up. It hit $1 million TVL again, and now it's over $200 million TVL, and it even was at over $300 million TVL last month. If you're looking forward to trying to max out your gains on your cryptocurrency assets, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be using Metrix Finance. You can just type in metrix.finance, hit enter, and you'll go to this website right here. I'll go ahead and launch the app. Now, there is a free and paid version of this website. Some of the features in this video are going to be free, and some of them are going to be in the paid version. Keep that in mind. So first thing we're going to do is go to Discover. This is a great tool for finding liquidity pools. So we're going to go and select the exchanges we want to use up top. Now, of course, this video is about Orca and Raydium. So I'm going to select those two, and I'm going to unselect Uniswap on the left. Now, under network, Solana is automatically selected. Now we have a bunch of pools, and you can go ahead and scroll through them, but we need to filter it down because there's 252 pools on the right. So one thing we can do is sort by TVL. Now, I want pools higher than $2 million TVL. So there we go. And then price volatility, fees APR. I'm not going to mess with the price volatility. No, for fees APR right here, I'm going to look for stuff that is higher than 8% APR. Don't be worried. Just because it has 8% fees APR on the front end, when you tighten your range, that APR can go up significantly. So don't be scared at like, oh, only 8% APR. And now we're at 16 pools that we can sort through. So that knocked off hundreds of pools. First, let's take a look at this pool up top, USDC to Sol. It says it has 50% fees APR and a TVL of 16 million. This is the highest TVL that we've seen. And of course, in the past 24 hours, there are a lot of fees, $43,000 in fees. So I'm going to go to the right, hit simulate in a new tab so we can go ahead and open up this position. So now I'm going to set it to Sol to USDC. We can see the graph, we can see the liquidity distribution, we can see the correlation, we can see the volume history, and a bit more. So at the top, I'm going to go ahead and set the current price right here to where most of the liquidity is. So it might already be pretty much all set. So yeah, I'll just put it right in the middle where I feel like most of the liquidity is. It was already almost on point. Now it says in a year we'll get 40% APR, but scrolling down we can see our correlation. Now here is where we can change the range to get different APR. Now first of all, our calculation range is set to 30 days. That means on this chart here and the volume history and the data that Metrix is using is based off the last 30 days of this pool, but I want to make it a bit more accurate and use like the last 12 to 14 days of this pool. So I'm going to change it to about 14 days. Now we can see the last 14 days of this pool's performance. So we can see the volume has been pretty steady. I mean, it had a low about here of $52 million and a high of 198, but all in all, it's not super high peaks and super low valleys. It's pretty consistent. And you can see again the volatility, the average volume, and more information. So if we go ahead and change our max price here to about, let's just say 165, and then our min price to about 126, you're getting a 73% APR. That changed a bunch. Now keep in mind, you may need to rebalance your pool. This is not a super broad range, it's pretty tight. And of course, there's other risks in cryptocurrency and decentralized finance when you're taking on exposure to these pools or assets. So make sure you do your own due diligence before you invest into anything. I'm in no way a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do with your money. We can change our calculation range and go a bit tighter. So I'm going to go to 9 days. So now that we're seeing the last 9 days calculation range, Metrix will be using the last 9 days of data for this pool. So now we can make our range a bit tighter if we want. I'm not going to go super tight, but there we go. And now it's saying 78% APR. And this is just at the first pool we've looked at. So if taking on exposure to both Sol and USDC is something that you'd like to do, then this liquidity pool could definitely be a solid option for you. So I'd go ahead and save it to your portfolio and do more due diligence on it before you actually invest in it. So this pool is looking great, so I'm gonna go ahead and save it to my portfolio. Another thing is, say we were to invest $10,000 to the pool, it's estimated that we'd get $21 per day and then $7,889 per year, and that's using this data here. So it's really cool. You can type in your deposit amount and see how much you'd be estimated to get. I'm I'm going to go back to the Discover page. We can see other pools. There's another USDC to Sol pool right here. You can also look at that. It looks like it might even have higher APR, but the TVL is less. So you can go ahead and look at that one, of course. I'm going to take this Jito Sol to JTO pool. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate it in a new tab. First of all, I'm not too familiar with JTO. So I'm going to go ahead and search for that on CoinGecko, do my own due diligence, and you should do yours too. So let's see JTO. It looks like it has a market cap of 244 million. If you look at it for the past year, it's in red. Max, it's still in red. So I'm not totally sure if I'd want to invest into this coin, but you can take a look at the pool and do your own due diligence. So here, if I were to tighten up the range, let's see max and min. Here, I'm changing it a bit. So I'm setting the min price to about 66 and max to 90. In the calculation range, I'm just going to zoom out a bit to see what it's looking like. Okay, so it looks like here on the chart is going up. So I'm going to zoom in more and change my min price a bit. Looks like we're getting 70% APR, but the thing is, I'm not too familiar about these assets. So I off the bat wouldn't want to invest into this before I did more due diligence. So for now, I'm going to close this, but I could come back to it. Also, by watching this channel, you get a free 30 days to the pro version of Metrix Finance. So click the link in the description below and claim your trial and start looking at these liquidity pools. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove my filters because the other pools weren't looking too interesting. And I'm going to look at some specific pools. So first of all, I'm going to look at Sol to Ethereum. Let's see what that's at. Okay, so it has $667,000 TVL, not the best, and it has a 18% fees APR. Let's check this out and see what it's about. So we can simulate it, open it in a new tab. This could be more of a blue chip position because Ethereum and Sol are pretty blue chip assets in my opinion, at least Ethereum. So I'm going to lower the calculation range to like 8 days right here, or actually like 10. Then I'm going to change the ranges because right now it needs definite changes. So I'm going to lower the max price to about, let's see, 17.6. Then the min price, about 16.4. Yeah, that would probably definitely need a lot of rebalancing. So I'm probably going to go a bit wider here. All right, yeah, a bit wider for now. And look, it says based on a 15-day, 14-day calculation range, we're getting 76% APR. So this could be a solid position. Again, the TVL was pretty low, so I'd want to do some more research into this pool, but it looks like the APR is solid. And also for me, it's a good sign because I am bullish on both Sol and Ethereum. So this could be a great pool for me. So I'm going to go ahead and save it to my portfolio. Now let's check out if Sol and Bitcoin has anything good going on. So let's see here. None of these fees APR off the bat look very high, but this pool right here, wrapped Bitcoin to Sol, has a fees APR of about 17% and a TVL of over 1 million. So that's more than double the TVL of the last pool we were looking at. So I'm going to go ahead and open this in a new tab. Just for sake of time, I'm looking at this one instead of this pool, but you definitely might want to look at the top one since there's more fees going around. This one has 2,000 average fees or more, and this one has 636 average fees in the last 24 hours. First things first, I'm going to set the current price to the highest point on the liquidity distribution chart where most of the liquidity is. All right. And then let's zoom out a bit, and then I'm going to zoom back in just to take a look at the previous history of this pool. So I'm at 12 days. Now I'm going to change the min price to about 393.2 and the max price to about 463, 458. All right, I'm going to zoom out again. Okay, this is a pretty tight range again. You might need to readjust, but we'll see. So now if I'm going to the past 14 days of data, it says we're getting a 56% APR. Also, these assets are very correlated. It says 0.94 correlation, which is 94% correlated. And in this scenario right here, I have more wrapped Bitcoin and more Sol. You can see it's 65% wrapped Bitcoin, 34% Sol about. But if you change these, you can change that. So if I go higher on the max price, I have more Bitcoin. I take on more exposure to Bitcoin. But if I go lower on the min price, then I take on more exposure to Sol. So you can set these how you like. But yeah, the APR is looking solid. If I tighten these ranges a bit more, yeah, I'm getting 70.43% estimated APR. So even if I'm putting in $10,000, that could supposedly be an extra almost $7,000 a year. You can do more due diligence into that pool, and then you can go back to Metrix Finance and look at Orca, Raydium, Solana, and keep on looking. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do with your money. I'm just telling you my opinion on these liquidity pools. Remember to claim your free 30-day trial of Metrix Finance. I'm so glad I can share this offer with you guys, and make sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss an upload. I really want to hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Anyways, have a great one.